Yeah, when I first started rapping, I was a big fan of Denzel, and now we're friends, which is kind of funny. Um, and yeah, Absol, Top Dog Entertainment. I used to listen to some of that stuff too. I'm a big fan of Outkast. That's like my favorite. It's probably the only rap that I still listen to on a daily basis, to be honest. It's super experimental. That's why it's inspiring to me. I like any kind of music that's experimental or sort of all over the place. I think as a good starting point, the Kabbalion is probably the best place to start with like Hermeticism and the law of attraction and stuff like that. Because the law of attraction is just sort of a modern term for mental transmutation, which is ancient. Like thoughts become things, and you're a product, and your life is a product of the thoughts that you put out there. But yeah, the Kabbalion's great. The seven Hermetic principles. And then, if you want to get into Crowley, obviously the Book of the Law, the Book of Lies. But other than that, yeah, space and astrophysics I'm hugely passionate about. Recently I read the Astrophysics for People in a Hurry with Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's a great, like, sort of all-encapsulating. It goes into, like, a history of the universe from the Big Bang to the present, and then sort of everything down to the chemical makeup of the universe and stuff like that. Just super passionate about it because I don't think science and religion necessarily need to be separate because they complement each other in a lot of ways. There's no reason to really. You could advocate one or the other, but you almost can't have one without the other in some ways because there's certain things that are unexplained and that leaves religious possibilities open and vice versa. So, but yeah, that's aside from music, those are like my biggest passions. I think, one of the most important things is just not losing sight of whatever it is that you want to do, because I think everybody out there has the one thing that they really want out of life or really want to do in life or whatever. But we have a lot of outside forces telling us that one thing may not be, the right thing to do because it's not smart or lucrative or whatever, but I think that if you stay focused on that one thing, no matter what, that it'll somehow materialize itself in your life. Like, I've always wanted to travel. I think even before I wanted to be a professional musician, I wanted to see the world, and I never lost sight of that, even when I was trapped in those cubicles for so many years. I would just have pictures up there. Like, it's stupid, and The Secret has like the whole make a collage bullshit, but I didn't do that, but I had just like a couple things here and there, like just pictures of mountains and shit. I didn't see mountains until I was 25 years old. So, and I kept these dreams, and you find yourself subconsciously taking steps to bring yourself there. I think that's really what it is when you break it down. Is the law of attraction is sort of just a way to say that if you stay mentally focused on something, your subconscious is gonna make you take the steps to make that happen, right? As long as you don't lose sight of your goal. I think that we start to vibrate at a much higher level and transcend the physical plane, and we just move on to the spiritual plane. Whether or not your actions or what you did in the physical plane has any bearing on where you live in that plane, I don't know. I like to think so. I think I believe in reincarnation and that souls have, an age, stuff like that, because you could tell, there's the term old soul is real. There's people that are much older than me that, still, it seems like they live like kids, because they haven't learned enough lessons or whatever like that. I don't like to put things in super neat categories like reincarnation or Buddhism or specific religion. I just like to take bits and pieces of what seems to make sense to me and kind of make it part of my own beliefs. I can believe something, but I could meet someone tomorrow that teaches me something and completely switches my belief around. I think it's important to live that way, just super open-minded. Does anime count? Oh, probably Griffith. Yeah, from Berserk, because he's an excellent example of like a protagonist who isn't necessarily the good guy, so to speak, but he, stands for what's positive in the series, I guess. But then he becomes taken over by power, and I think that's something that can easily happen to somebody who, is making their way up in life and is given power or something like that. It's easy to abuse that and use it the wrong way, and I think it's a lesson for people like, who I guess are type A personality competitive, to not abuse your power and try to always keep a balanced mind state and stuff like that. Honestly, my favorite moment is not a positive one though. I like when he I think it's the third one, when he starts to get consumed by the power he has, and he turns into this like the demon version of himself. I love that just because I'm really into like gory